Is it better to marry someone with your temperament or a contrasting complementary temperament? Well, there is evidence on this, and basically you don't want to marry someone with whom you're too mismatched. Now, the only possible exception to that is neuroticism. Neuroticism is a good predictor of marital trouble, and it's a good predictor of trouble, period, or perhaps sensitivity to trouble, which is in some sense the same thing. It's very, and I don't know of any research specifically pertaining to this. Now, I know that people who are high in neuroticism are more likely to miss work and to visit the doctor and to be unhappy in their marriages and so forth. And that may also account for why 75% of divorces are initiated by women. And I think women are more sensitive to negative emotion, partly because they have to take care of infants and need to be more sensitive to threat, and perhaps because sexuality is more dangerous to women, and perhaps because women are physically smaller. And all of this seems to kick in at puberty. Anyways, it isn't obvious to me that you want to match someone with regards to neuroticism if you're high in neuroticism. I think if you're high in neuroticism, you need to find someone who's low in neuroticism, because then you have someone around to calm you down. Now, apart from that, the research literature does indicate that match is better, and you can see why. It's hard for extroverts and introverts to get along, especially if they're extreme extroverts and extreme introverts, because an extreme extrovert always wants to be with other people and in groups, and an extreme introvert hardly ever wants that. And that's a very, very difficult thing to negotiate. And then with conscientiousness, same thing. If you're really high in orderliness, it's very hard to be married to someone who's very low in orderliness. You're going to end up doing all the cleaning, for example. That will drive you crazy. And if you're high in industriousness, same thing. Now, if you're super high in industriousness and orderliness, you might want someone who's maybe moderate in both to kind of temper you a bit, because one of the problems with being too high in conscientiousness is that you can't stop working. And you should probably stop working from time to time. Agreeableness, same thing. Hard for an agreeable and disagreeable person to get along. The agreeable person will always be... The disagreeable person who won't shy away from conflict is likely to dominate the agreeable person quite badly. So that's a tough bridge that's a tough chasm to bridge as well. So you look for temperamental similarity. Now, it's complicated because, like, if you're really, really low in industriousness and you marry someone else who's really low in industriousness, well, that's going to be trouble for both of you, because there isn't going to be anyone around who's going to do the work. So you might understand each other better, but as a long-term strategy, it's not a very good one. So